Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another breakfast with Blaha. And today I'm having a steak and avocado here. All right, let's talk about GPP, or General Physical Preparedness. Now, I get a lot of people who are like, Jason, you talk about it, you do it, but you don't ever tell us how to program it. And I want you guys to think about how funny that question is for a moment. You're going to program General Physical Preparedness. This shouldn't take you more than 10 seconds of planning. Why? You need a stopwatch and some equipment. Why do you need a stopwatch or a phone or something? You don't want to do more than about 10 minutes of GPP. If you're doing more than about 10 minutes, it's going to usually interfere with your recovery. But GPP is general physical preparedness. That means that we take some sort of strength-based conditioning and do some workload on it to build your work capacity and get you into shape. The point is, it doesn't matter. It could be random. It could be random. You could have a whole set of things that you use for GPP, and you could pick a random number generator and let it tell you which one to do. Be like, I don't know, am I going to drag a sled today? Am I going to push a prowler today? I'm going to do some barbell complexes, some tire flips, some loaded carries, right? I'm not a fan of loaded carries, by the way. Not really for GPP. Just been my experience. I've done plenty of them. I don't get that much out of them. They don't seem to improve my grip at all. Like, in other words, if I do nothing but weighted carries for grip training and cut any other and do real mild grip work on other stuff, right? Start using straps, my grip plummets. It don't help mine. It might help yours. But kind of shows that sometimes there's problems with the specific aspects of GPP. But I mean, you could pick these things. It doesn't matter. It's just general physical preparedness. All right? And you start small. Once a week, twice a week. If you need more, you can build up. But if you are just trying to be in shape and you are supplementing your lifting, you're supplementing your lifting with this conditioning work. Okay. Twice a week is actually really good. Twice a week's fine. Now, people will say, Jason, shouldn't we be trying to raise it as high as possible? Yes, in theory. You should also be trying to squat as much as possible. Doesn't mean it's doable. I think you should all be trying to squat 700 pounds. There you go. So using that same logic, sure, you should all be increasing your GPP. You should get it as high as possible, just like you should all have an elite squat. Okay, you see the problem with that logic? We're dealing with, are you trying to be elite? To just be in shape and to get good carryover to your training and for health benefits, you can do it twice a week. Like that's actually will work quite well. Okay, it'll help you get in shape. If you need more, then because you really want more, you want to be more extreme, you just want to be more conditioned, you can add more in. It needs to be individual sessions or days though. I had someone, again, when I brought this up the other day, well, every time I do 20 minutes, because 10 just doesn't feel like enough. Again, every time I do 20 minutes, my lifts go down, my lifts start regressing. Well, do you not see the problem here? You just came to me and said, hey, when I do X, what undesirable outcome Y happens every single time. You're the type of guy who, when you were a kid, put a penny in a light socket more than one time, didn't you? Right? It's like with anything else. I mean, someone tells me, well, this part of my diet. It's much harder because I choose to follow whatever type of vegan diet or whatever they follow. Well, then stop doing it. If it's causing you problems with your goals, then stop doing it. It's a choice. Stop doing the 20-minute GPP. It doesn't feel like enough. Well, clearly it's too much. 10 minutes. That's it. Twice a week. If you need more, add days slowly and build it up. See how your training responds. Make sure that it's not interfering with your recovery. And if it's not, see what I mean? That's why we can't program this. Because it's going to go based on lifestyle, how you feel, what your work capacity is. So the programming, there is no programming here. You add the amount that you can tolerate or that you want and make sure that it's not a problem. If it's a problem, reduce it. But I don't recommend going over 10 minutes in a day. Not necessary. We're doing conditioning. Okay? But if you have a sport that requires a high degree of conditioning and understand that you may sacrifice some strength and muscle, it points for that. Come over the other thing. People are like, well, what about if I need specificity from it? Well, that's not GPP anymore. I drag a sled for GPP, but does it have squat carryover? Yes. Okay. Is it fully GPP if I'm using it for the purpose of increasing my squat? Yeah, it's giving me GPP, but it's also becoming specific physical preparedness. Why? Because I'm doing it with a specific hope of a carryover to my primary training. Right? That is no longer GPP. Now, what happens when a strongman is getting ready for a GPP type event? Well, I need to practice this for my event. Well, it's no longer GPP. It might be someone else's GPP had they done those things, or they could have just done something else. It's not. It's now SPP. It's specific physical preparedness. If you start timing your GPP to match your boxing matches, okay, what just happened? You're doing SPP. We're getting into sport-specific training, right? This is specific training for your sport. It's no longer GPP. Those things need to be programmed, but they're programmed based around your competitive events. That's not general physical preparedness. So if you're having to program it, if you need to program it, if you need to waste any mental energy programming it, it's hopefully because it's sports specific. And then other guys will say, well, I just like to have everything well planned. Well, there's medications you can take for that, right? You can see a psychiatrist and they can fix that for you. Like, I'm not going to enable your mental illness, because that's what I would be doing. Say, okay, well, fine, then obsess over things that don't matter. Be perfectly fine. It's not. It's a waste of your time and energy. It's not going to benefit you. I need to drag at least exactly 57.5 pounds, and I need to drag it 72 meters in 61 seconds. Okay, it's getting stupid. Just drag a sled for 8 to 10 minutes, or 5 minutes. You want to go heavier. Done. That's it. It's your GPP. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.